Hi girls, I decided to remake this video so you have the sound. So we talked about the general equation. We talked about where does this come from. We know it's on our formula sheet, but where does it come from? And we said, okay, we know the recursive definition says that t sub 2 is actually t sub 1 plus d, and that t sub 3 is actually t sub 2 plus d, and t sub 4 is actually t sub 3 plus d. And we know all these. I could go up forever. I could just keep going if I wanted, but the one before plus the difference. And so what I did in class today was I said, if this is t sub 2, then I'm allowed to put it where t sub 2 is. And that gives me that t sub 3, right here, is equal to whatever's there is going to go there, t sub 1 plus d plus d. That d is right here. That's equal to t sub 1 plus 2d. And we noticed that if that's a 3, that became a 2. And then we said, okay, what about t sub 4? Well, t sub 4 is t sub 3, or that, right? That's what t sub 3 is. So I can put that where t sub 3 is. I can replace it. T sub 1 plus 2d plus that d, right? This d is this d. So that's t sub 1 plus 3d. So this is 1 less than that. And that's where we come from for the equation, that we get 1 less than the position times the d, and t sub 1 is always in the front. Okay, so we were saying we didn't have to reproduce that, but nice to know where it comes from. And then we did some examples. And the first example we did was the determine one. So our verb was determine. So determine the equation. Remember, general equation when they say equation. Of the AS. And so we had 7, 11, 15, 19, dot, dot, dot. And we said that the difference there was 4. And we said that T1 was 7. And then we wrote down the equation, which was T sub n equals T sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. And we wrote all the things we know. We don't know T sub n. That's the equation. And the t sub 1 is right there. So we do 7 plus, and then n minus 1 is going to stay n minus 1, times d is 4. And then we said to tidy it up, we would expand that, and we get t sub n equals 7 plus 4n minus 4. And we'd combine these like terms to get t sub n equals 3 plus 4n. And that is our general equation. Now, I also said that there's another way that we can link this back to something we knew from before, and that was the y equals mx plus cid. So we say t sub n is always d, the difference, times the n. The difference times the n. Plus whatever t sub 0, this fictional term is. So I could say, okay, t sub n equals, okay, d was 4n, plus, and then I have to figure out what's over here, what's backwards from t sub 1 by subtracting off 4 and getting 3. Same thing, just written in a different order. Okay, so this is what we used to do. This is our new way of doing it using the general equation. All right, I think I have time on my thing to do one more. So we're going to go egg 2, and we're going to go find, 20th term of 2, 7, 12, 17, dot, dot, dot. All right, that AS. So we go t sub 1 equals 2, and d equals plus 5. So I write t sub n equals t sub 1 plus d times n minus 1. I think that's written the wrong way around, but I don't think it matters at all. And so I say, okay, let's see. T sub n equals 2 plus 5 times, this is t sub 20, isn't it? They told me the number of the term. That's the n. 20 minus 1. So that's t sub 20, the 20th term, plus, and this is 5 times 19. And I think you girls told me in class that 5 times 19 was 95. And so this turns out to be 97. Great. I'm going to do the other on the next one.